Semifinal matchup number 2 here at the OCAA Women's Rugby 7 Championship. The Humber Hawks are set to take on the Loyalist Lancers. Matt Hamill here. Neil Judge doing color. Neil, this should be a good matchup. Loyalist looking pretty strong in game 1. And the Humber Hawks, one loss on the season. Humber Hawks touting the league's scoring champion, Cheyenne Deluca.
Humber's had a very impressive season this year. Looks like Loyalist is going to try and play the quick short ball. Humber gets a good counter ruck in, and they're away.
Bit of a hair pull.
Loyalist throwing up the hands on that one to say, I didn't do it. Loyalist also with the quick counter ruck here, but getting the call for not rolling away. Bit of a long pass falls up short, but the bounce is corralled. Humber still has the ball, taking it into contact. And a nice cut back in field. Oh my goodness, she is just pulling away here.
Daniela Grant right away. How about that? Switching things up, cutting across the field, and nobody was going to catch her. The early try for Humber.
I don't think she quite made the score in the first minute there, but that was awfully close. Looks like it should be a routine kick here for Humber. And it looks like she gets the 2 points as well, so that should put Humber up 7-0.
Tatiana Fitzgerald with the convert. Tayshana.
Humber's going to look to put on the pressure here on the left side of the field as they restart play. They have overloaded. Ball went nice and deep, forcing a recall on the bounce here. Humber's just bringing it hard in those counter rucks.
Dina Rahal
takes the ball into contact, retains possession there. Is a good offensive support there for the ruck, retaining the ball. Another beautiful inside run. She just opens up on them and skirts out of the play there.
And that's the OCAA scoring champion, Cheyenne Deluca. Just a very fast runner. And Humber has a couple of those offensive weapons, and that's why they sit atop the OCAA with 395 points on the season.
Slightly bit more of a difficult kick on this one. She wasn't able to get quite under the uprights as she did find some opposition as she was coming into the end zone. Does not look like it's good, though.
Hawks try by number 10, Cheyenne Deluca.
Just waiting on the kickoff here. Humber jumping out to a quick lead.
Humber does seem to like overloading this left side of the field here. Unfortunately, this doesn't give them as many options being able to switch kick, but it does mean that they are going to have more players playing defense when they go in to take the ball. And a good strip, but unfortunately she runs out of bounds. Those white lines and those dark blue lines can be awful confusing at times. Oh, it would appear it was a call on the play as opposed to a out of bounds here. So a quick tap and go for Loyalist.
The Lancers trying to work it to the outside. Good defensive contain by Humber. There's Cheyenne on the
high
outside
tackle
there.
call here. Again, another quick tap and go for Loyalist, trying to keep the pressure on Humber.
Good possession here for Loyalist. But Humber doing a good job of holding the line right at half.
Humber's had a very strong counterattack game, very hard on defense, and they're going to force a turnover here. Loyalist, unfortunately, dropped the ball forward, giving Humber the put in on a scrum.
Here's the scrum. Humber able to come away with it. They're tripped up, though.
Humber had a very overpowering scrum there, unfortunately. That meant that the ball was exposed very quickly, giving the scrum half very little time to pick up the ball and make a play with it. Loyalist gets a quick tap and go, and they are back on the offensive.
Good charge up the middle. Gaining some ground here are the Lancers.
Laurentian's doing a very good job even when taking the ball into contact. They're keeping their feet. They're continuing to try and drive that pile forward to get meters.
Great tackle on the outside. Loyalist comes away with it. Trying to find an edge. And they're really pressing deep into Humber territory right now, looking for their first score.
Yeah, Loyalist is doing a very good job at running with support. Would like to see a little bit of a tighter support line on some of these deep runs that the Loyalist is trying to get. Oh, Humber gets a hard counter ruck and is away with the ball once again.
Cheyenne Deluca all alone. Nobody even close. Another try for Humber.
This looks like it might be the key to Humber's game here. Humber is very quick on the counterattack. They're exposing opportunities, and they're just waiting for Loyalists to turn off the ball. That hard defense is really good for forcing those turnovers.
Cheyenne Deluca coming into this tournament today, 111 points on the season.
Yep, she's currently 1 for 2 on her kicks. We'll see if she can bring that up to 2 for 3 here. And it would look to be another routine 2 points for her.
Hawks tried by number 10, Cheyenne Deluca.
Tayshana Fitzgerald with an
Conversion by
excellent
number 5,
convert.
Tayshana Fitzgerald.
Does not look like Tayshana to me. I don't know. It looks like Tatiana.
Yeah, that's right.
That's spelled, right?
Yeah, it's like Russian or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's how I pronounced it the first
Deep
time,
kick
so-
by Tayshana, and that's going to catch a good bounce deep in Loyalist territory. And that'll bring us to the half. Humber Hawks leading by 17. Loyalist College yet to get on the board.
Yeah, the story of the game here so far has been Humber's counterattack. Humber's hard-up defense has been forcing multiple turnovers from Loyalists, and they have just been able to find the gaps and make the big, long runs deep into the Loyalist territory to score those points. We're 19 with the conversion, right?
Check that. The score here is 19-0. And for Humber, it's just those offensive weapons. And once they find a bit of open space, they don't need much, and they can really make something happen. So far, exposing Loyalist for 3 tries in the early going.
Yeah, Loyalist has had some impressive possessions. They've been running very well off of each other. They've been supporting each other very well coming into those rucks, trying to get the defensive position set up so that they can retain ball possession. But Humber's been very fast. They come in with 2 players off and not necessarily double tackling, but with 1 player ready to make a defensive position to get over top of that ruck so that they can secure ball position and take over that game.
Get a good look at the Humber Hawks sideline. Head coach Dale Esue in his 9th year. He's got to like what he's seeing from his squad. They're looking to avenge that 1 loss this season to Algonquin. And again, a big loss last year in the provincial championship game, losing to Seneca, their only loss of the season.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, if they wanted that revenge on last year, they won't get to play them, as Algonquin have already set them back to the bronze medal game, but they will get a shot here, providing they continue to keep this run going on Loyalist. They'll get another shot at provincial finals again.
And I had a chance to talk to Tayshana before the game, and she mentioned that it's kind of good to get that 1 loss out of the way. They had that crossover match, Humber did, against Algonquin, and they lost to the Thunder. It's kind of good to get that out of the way. Face adversity early in the season so that you're kind of ready for that if you should meet that same adversity in a championship game.
Yeah, sometimes getting that taste of defeat is a good incentive to not end up in that position again.
Humber with the kickoff to start things off. Loyalist charging up the field. Missed pass there.
Loyalist is moving like they think there was a touch on the ball before it went out of bounds, but the ref is giving Humber then.
There you see Humber setting it up. Tashana. They'll try to work the ball to Deluca, but it looks like
Unfortunate out of bounds here as they come up the far side. Most of these lineouts have been quick restarts, often unopposed in the air.
you look at the top two scorers in the league. It's Cheyenne Deluca from Humber with 111, Christina Branch from Humber with 97. The next best is Michelle Harper from St. Lawrence with 57. So
Yeah.
Humber's offense really comes on the heels of those two players.
Yeah, unfortunate drop ball here by Laurentian. Loyalist, excuse me. This will give Humber the put in on scrum. This is pretty dangerous territory. Humber's in a good position if they can take the ball here. They got to watch that they don't overrun too quickly. But if they can keep possession here again this time. Ooh, Loyalist win on the defensive scrum. Trying to keep her feet, gets taken to ground.
Big contact there.
Loyalist playing good supporting rugby, but that is a big stop there by Humber. Looks like they're holding up for a maul. Loyalist trying to push this one downfield. Unfortunately, they're going to have a difficult time getting that ball out of the maul. Looks like players have gone to ground. Ref has blown his whistle and is awarding Humber the ball. Unfortunate part with mauls here, the offensive team does have a responsibility to maintain the playability of the ball. So that means that if they go in and Humber, for example, here, keeps the other players from being able to get to ground, the maul is called, and then Loyalist brings the maul to ground, Humber will get the scrum.
A couple substitutions coming in for Humber right now. Dina Rahal checking in. Looks like Cheyenne Deluca is going to take a break. So maybe at this point, Humber just looking to rest some players. Going forward here in the tournament. No, Cheyenne Deluca will come back out.
It would appear we either have some need for medical attention or equipment issues as the sub was taking place there. Loyalist retains ball on the scrum, and she's looking for open space. She seems to have found it, but there's Humber tight on her heels.
Lots of Hawks swarm, although a big gain.
This is very dangerous territory. Humber's trying hard on the counter ruck here. Loyalist is really trying to get that ball out and call against Humber. Loyalist quick tap and go to keep play moving. Ooh, unfortunate miss on that pass there, but Loyalist is still retaining ball possession.
Loyalist
Ooh.
having a tough time getting possession. Ball on the ground, whistle blown.
It would appear that there were almost a series of knock-ons here, but it would seem that Loyalist was the first to make such a mistake, so Humber will get the ball. Loyalist has had a very solid half so far. They've kept Humber well out of their end, though they have played some pretty tight defense just coming into their own half, and they've got Humber on the back foot now.
Scoreless second half. Loyalist with the ball deep. Just 2 minutes left in the game here.
As much as I love my people. Big scrum here. Ball taken out the Hawks end, but it's a bit of a scramble. Humber comes out with it.
Lots of bodies on the sideline. Humber will step out of bounds. Again, confusing those blue and white lines.
Yeah, and those are a bit of a difficulty to get used to, unfortunately, having played on this field myself. It has led to some confusion on multiple occasions, and we're seeing a lot of that today.
Said you. Now Loyalist back with the ball. Strong tackle there. Inching their way towards the Humber goal line.
Humber still playing very strong defense. Ooh, didn't quite get the hurry up on the defense, and Loyalist is making a break.
Try is scored. Great job by Loyalist to fight their way and get their first points of the game.
Yeah, that was a very hard-won set of points there. Humber not making any of this easy for Loyalist at all.
19-5.
Lancers tried by number 9, Bailey Marone.
I don't even think they attempted it just to save time. That was weird.
Yeah,
That
there's
was-
no time left on the clock.
Yeah.
Well, their clock, our clock is 20 seconds. Yeah, because the clock's on.
Looks like there will be another knock-on call here against Humber. Looks like they've been having a few problems retaining the ball.
Now Humber started this game looking really good in the first half. Things have kind of slowed down here, and you wonder what kind of momentum they'll have going forward into the gold medal game against Algonquin.
Yeah, you definitely want to finish strong in a game like this when you're coming into the finals.
Last few
Ooh,
seconds.
mishandled. Looks like there will be another knock-on call here.
There's the final whistle from the referee. The Humber Hawks will advance to the gold medal game. And you can watch that here, the OCAA Women's Rugby 7 Championship here on the Hawks Sports Network in a matter of time. Neil, that was a pretty good matchup. That high-flying offense of Humber was on display, but ultimately they would hang on in the second half, not able to put any more points on the board, and Loyalist is going to be going to the bronze medal match.
Yeah, Humber's been very impressive on the offense here, but I'd even argue that their most important asset here has been their defense, which has caused multiple turnovers and allowed for those quick counterattacks. If Algonquin is going to be able to take a game here off of Humber in the finals, they're going to have to deal with that hard Humber defense.
And just to preview that matchup, Algonquin has allowed the fewest points of any team in the OCAA, and Humber's one loss of the season, came against the Thunder. So an interesting matchup. That'll be the gold medal game. Up next on the Hawks Sports Network will be the consolation matchup, followed by the semifinal. The bronze medal game. And the gold medal game finally. We'll be back with you then.